Hello, welcome to Jacobs Abbey Global Institute for Leadership Studies, a research, teaching, training, and leadership institute that critically provides strategic transformational thinking to leaders and students with the opportunity to develop and create lasting impact in their institutions. Championed by a world-class faculty, one-on-one executive coaching, and peer learning, our programs are offered both online and in cohort sessions. Jacobs Abbey Global Institute for Leadership Studies partners with academic institutions, civil society organizations, local communities looking to accelerate the impact of their leaders, more effectively engage teams, and build inclusive cultures of employee engagement and performance. We offer courses such as certificate, diploma, and advanced diploma in counseling psychology, marriage counseling, applied psychology, child mental health, conflict and peace studies, international human rights law, security and governance, and in gender studies. For enrollment, email enroll@jaglobalinstitute.org or visit us online at jaglobalinstitute.org.
Human rights. What are human rights? Well, human rights are the values which keep society fair, just and equal. They protect children, the elderly, people in care, victims of domestic violence, people with mental health problems, religious groups, teachers, soldiers, and yes, prisoners. They protect all of us. They protect you. Our human rights are protected by law. That means we can do something if our rights are attacked. But not everyone loves human rights. Some want to water them down, even scrap them. Our rights are under threat, so it's time to get educated. Societies used to be controlled by all-powerful rulers who could be horribly unjust. Kings only gave rights to people they liked. Over thousands of years, people fought for equality, and with every hard-won right came new laws that improved how we lived. But in the 20th century, brutal dictators came to power. They ruled by fear, like the kings of the past. Those hard-won rights, they were dismantled on an unimaginable scale. After World War II, the democracies got together and said, never again. They created a simple document setting out the basic rights we all need to live a dignified life. The European Convention puts rights, not rulers, at the heart of our society. Like the right to life, to liberty, to free speech. This means public bodies like hospitals and schools must respect our rights, and if they don't, we can go to our local court to enforce them. Now, because of human rights, patients in hospitals must be treated with compassion. Journalists cannot be forced to reveal their sources. Soldiers must be given proper equipment, cannot keep our DNA forever if we're innocent. We have to be treated fairly, at work, at home, in school, anywhere, everywhere. Our human rights are hard-won. They're part of our heritage. We are proud of them. If we lose them, vulnerable people will pay the biggest price. Know your rights. Celebrate them. Protect them.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure on this August occasion to introduce the Executive Director of the Jacobs Abbey Institute for Global Studies, a scientific researcher, consultant, diplomat, and expert in global public health policy. He has an extensive background in international human rights, leadership, and conflict resolution. He is also a distinguished fellow from the Institute of Comparative Studies, University of Connecticut, and also holds an associate degree in health information management and a Bachelor of Science in Healthcare Administration from Purdue Global University. He also holds a Master of Business Administration degree in Healthcare Management and Health Policy from Donald R. Tapia School of Business, St. Leo University, and a PhD in Health Services with a special concentration in Public Health Policy from College of Health Science, Walden University. This great man serves at the United Nations Institute for Research and Training and is a frequent speaker at the United Nations and a keynote speaker at charitable events across the globe. He is currently the Global Diplomatic Council Special Envoy to the African Union and the United Nations. Aside his diplomatic life, he has sacrificed a part of his life to serve as a friend, confidant, counselor, and a teacher to many around the world. But most importantly, he is a wonderful family man. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I present His Excellency, Ambassador Dr. Samuel Jacobs Abbey, Executive Director of the Jacobs Abbey Global Institute for Leadership Studies. Thank you.
To be joining you this afternoon, and also to all those who will be graduating very shortly. My warmest congratulations to you. And my congratulations as well to the proud families of all the students graduating today. I just want to take this moment to speak a little and to talk a little to the students who have worked tirelessly over the course of this period of learning on international human rights and also learning on the global issues. I know that human rights issues it sometimes can be very complicated. It permeates through our daily activities and everything that we do. That is why we are so dedicated in ensuring that the fundamental right of everyone is adhered to. I'm very proud of this class of 2022 because they were so dedicated. They work efficiently. They work as a team. They went through different models of learning and having a better understanding and appreciation of fundamental human rights. And it is my hope as the executive director of this institute to ensure that these students will take the knowledge acquired and then they will use this knowledge to bring a change in their lives, not only in their lives, but in within their communities and the people that they encounter with. Many years ago, I became a human rights advocate. I volunteer in different countries around the world to ensure that human rights becomes a fact and not an idealistic dream. And so I want to challenge all the students today that from today onwards, as a global partners in the fight of defending the rights of people, I want to encourage you to go out there and become a solid leader. Who is a leader? A leader is someone who have influence over situations. And I expect that all of you will develop that capability, that ability, and develop different philosophies of understanding to ensure that you become champions of change within your communities. The Jacobs Abbey Global Institute for Leadership Studies pride itself in ensuring that we provide nothing but quality. And that is the reason why I want to encourage every one of you graduating today that you have formed a bond, you have formed a family. Go out there and become the change that the world expects you to become. Do not contribute to the troubles of this world, but become a change. You can do this just as we learn in class in a very small, minute way that will not even reflect on the world map. But guess what? Your impact will be felt someday, somehow. And so, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, on behalf of the staff and management of the Jacobs Abbey Global Institute for Leadership Studies, I want to first of all thank the Department of Victims and Human Rights, the Basque County government in Spain, for providing us sponsorship. I also want to thank investing in youth also based in Spain. I want to thank the European office of the Jacobs Abbey Global Institute for Leadership Studies. I want to thank all the faculties and staff that taught this class. It's been a wonderful journey, and I am so excited that today we have brought the curtain down, and these individual students are being sent out to the world. So I'm speaking to you directly, students. Go and be the change, and your life will not be the same again. Thank you, and God bless all of you.
Nkechi Emmanuel with student ID Jagils 220141 from Nigeria, a member of class of 2022 International Human Rights Leadership Cohort, an initiative of Jacob Abbey Global Institute of Leadership Studies, Jagils. What inspired me to enroll at the Jagils 2022 International Human Rights Leadership Cohort is my desire to know more about human rights and build a strong leadership capacity. The last 4 weeks of learning have been very inspiring, and I've learned a lot from the live session and group discussions, which has been very interactive. All courses taught were very outstanding, but incorporating human rights perspective into policy stood out for me because it gives an in-depth knowledge of how to incorporate basic human rights into our various policies. I believe investors should definitely support this initiative because it is very inspiring and has produced great leaders for the global world. With the kind of skills and knowledge acquired within the last 4 weeks, I appeal to corporate institutions, organizations, and sponsors to invest in the Jagils International Human Rights Leadership Cohort. If you are looking for a strategic leadership studies where you will be taught and inspired by the best global leaders in the world, then look no further. Just visit www.jaglobalinstitute.com.
Everyone, I am Reverend Father Nicholas Stephen Bono, and I work in Kontagora, Niger State, Nigeria. And I happened to come in contact with Jacob Abe's Institute for Leadership Studies through a friend who sent me the link to register for the human rights course. And at first I was reluctant, but later I said, no, let me just give it a chance to see what they have to offer. And believe you me, I was thrilled with the manner of presentation and the content when we started the classes. Especially the class on human trafficking was wonderful, was superb. With all the nitty-gritties that was exposed, we were very happy. And that was why I didn't waste any time. When I saw the call for application for the Strategic Leadership Masterclass, I did not waste any time because I knew I was going to be thrilled with more stuff that will help me in my leadership position that I've been there for more than 12 years. So, and I hope that this class is going to be more wonderful, and I pray that whatever I will learn from this institution, I'll be able to downgrade to affect the lives of so many people in my community, in my place of work, and maybe in my country and in the world at large. So thank you, Jacob Abis and your team, and I thank the Institute for giving me the opportunity. Thank you.
My name is Barikisu Sulaiman with student ID Jagils 210517. I'm from Ghana and a member of the 2022 International Human Rights Leadership Cohort, an initiative of the Jacobs Abe Global Institute for Leadership Studies. I was inspired to enroll in the Jacobs Abe Global Institute for Leadership Studies International Human Rights Leadership Cohort due to my desire to build a strong leadership capacity and to acquire skill sets that I lack. Honestly, all the courses taught during the last 4 weeks stood out for me. The course organization and delivery were of impeccable standard, and I am highly satisfied with the knowledge that I have gained. With the knowledge that I have gained, I will appeal to corporate institutions, organizations, and sponsors to invest in the Jacobs Abe Global Institute for Leadership Studies International Human Rights Leadership Cohort. If you are for strategic leadership studies, look no further. Visit www.jaglobalinstitute.org. Thank you.
My name is Victoria Jolayemi with student ID number Jagils 220185. I am from Nigeria and I am happy to have been admitted into the 2022 class of the International Human Rights Leadership Studies, an initiative of Jacobs Abe Global Institute of Leadership Studies. My desire to build very strong leadership skills and to gain rock-solid skills in human rights advocacy prompted me to register for this International Human Rights Leadership Study course. The past 4 weeks have been so transformative, following the highly inspiring classes filled with case studies, group interactions, quizzes, amongst others, which have built strong and solid leadership skills for me. The Week 4 course on incorporating human rights perspectives into policy stood out for me, knowing that the human rights are indivisible, they are comprehensive, and they are interdependent. This made me understand that when human rights are applied to policy making, it tends to be holistic. I want to take this opportunity to appeal to international organizations, civil societies, grant organizations, corporate bodies to keep sponsoring the Jacob Abe Global Institute of Leadership Studies. Special programs, flagship programs like this Human Rights Studies and other leadership executive studies are some of the programs that are run by this organization. It promises to raise leaders that are needed for the next generation. Thank you.
My name is Margaret Chichi Nkiri. I'm from Nigeria and member of class of 2022 International Human Rights Leadership Cohort with student ID Jagils 210561. I'm grateful for the opportunity to have been part of the recipients of this course because my work as a development practitioner in the social sector is fundamentally driven by human rights processes. And this course has given me more knowledge on how to better incorporate human rights dimensions in my work. With the insights I've gained from the 4 weeks lecture taught by faculty experts, I aim to cascade learnings, especially in the area of promoting the rights of women and young girls and other vulnerable groups, giving them the opportunity to pursue their dreams and education. But most significantly for me, it has also helped me gain a more broader understanding of the international human rights principles and instruments within the UN system. And so I would recommend this course to every development practitioner out there and leaders within their organizations. Again, I say a very big thank you to Jacobs Abbey Global Institute of Leadership Studies, its partners and sponsors.
Hi, my name is Dr. Samuel Jacobs Abbey, the Executive Director of the Jacobs Abbey Global Institute for Leadership Studies based in Washington, D.C. metro area. I am excited, I am elated, and I am so happy that today I have a single honor to introduce my best friend, a colleague, and a great lawyer as our commencement speaker. Honorable Francis Xavier Sosu is a member of parliament for Medina constituency, which is a suburb of Accra in Ghana, and also a ranking member. Today, Mr. Francis Xavier is a member of parliament because he has selflessly supported human rights causes across the world. A practicing lawyer and an advocate. Folks, please help me to welcome our 2022 commencement speaker for the International Human Rights Leadership Education Cohort, Honorable Francis Xavier Sosu.
Hi, it is so wonderful to come your way to share a few words with this class as you bring your human rights program to an end. Let me start by saying that my name is Francis Xavier Sosu. I'm a lawyer by profession and I'm an activist. And in Ghana, I've been practicing as a human rights lawyer and a public interest lawyer for that matter for the past 12 years. And currently serving in the Parliament of Ghana, representing about some 200,000 constituents in a small a suburb of Accra, which is the capital of Ghana. Let me say that human rights are inalienable entitlements that we are all entitled to. And for the fact that you are a human being, you are entitled to some very, very fundamental entitlement. And that is why we have the right to life, we have the right to health, a right to freedom of expression, we have the right not to be subjected to arbitrary treatment, and so on and so forth. And it is exciting that we have various international organizations that have come together to codify this right. So for example, we have the UN Declaration on Human Rights, and then we also have the United Nations Convention on Civil and Political Rights. We have several others, UN Convention on Elimination of all forms of discrimination against women. And if you come to Africa, we have the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. And then, of course, when you come to Ghana, we have our 1992 Constitution. And I know that every nation and every state has a set of rules that govern or protect this right. Now, let me say that as an activist and as a student of human rights, I've come to understand that where there are right holders, we have duty bearers. So anytime we talk about human rights, we talk about two levels of relations. We have those who bear the right, and we have those who are supposed to ensure that we enjoy these rights. So, for example, in a typical national state, you have the executive, who are the duty bearers, and you have the citizens, who are the right holders. So it is the duty of the executive to ensure that your freedom of expression, your right to education, your right to food, your right to healthy environment are protected, and your right not to be subjected to arbitrary arrests and treatment and malicious prosecutions are also protected. Now, as a young man growing up on the streets of Accra and being favored to become a lawyer and now a legislator, I have seen people having been subjected to all forms of arbitrary treatment. I've seen people on the street being unlawfully beaten, people denied opportunities in life, and it's because you have a society that is not very open, a society that is actually right-based. As a lawyer and working in this space, for example, I work on a project called the Justice for All program, where I've represented in excess of 800 inmates who are wrongfully arrested, or wrongfully convicted, or maybe unlawfully held in detention cells, and so on and so forth, and fought to ensure that some of these people are released. And why? It is because you have a system that is very repressive. If you look at the 2013 UN Rapporteur's report on Ghana, you would realize that a lot of our cells are very, very, very dehumanizing, and they do not have the facility that ensure that people are protected and people's rights are enforced, and so on and so forth. Now, as a young man and a young lady who is coming out of this human rights program, you have to understand that the area of practice of human rights is a very lonely path. It is not many people that will patronize you. Many regimes are going to be very repressive. You are going to be working under a lot of authoritarian regimes, because for people who are very, very corrupt, they tend to profit from those regimes. So, for example, in Parliament, I have just introduced a bill to criminalize witchcraft accusation. But many people have already spoken against the bill. Why are they talking against the bill? Because you have pastors and you have some religious people who profit from that industry by virtue of accusing people of being witches or wizards. They tend to induce fear in them, and they now profit off these people, because some of them will now have to pay to stay in their camps. And that happens even in the traditional setting, where you have traditional priests and traditional priestesses who would accuse people of being witches, and then rely on the family to pay for them to stay with them under the pretext of exorcising them and removing those accusations, or removing those spells of witchcraft from them. So you are going to come face to face with people who would be fighting you because you are fighting the system. Remember that a corrupt system have very corrupt people presiding over those systems, and those corrupt people benefit from the corruption of the system. And so when you stand out as a human rights practitioner who is going to speak against the system, who would want to change the status quo, remember that people are going to come after you. People may come after your life. They may even come after your family. But remember also that there is no change in society without struggle. At a point in time, in America, in the United States of America, it was a crime for a woman to cast a vote. You remember that popular matter, to the extent that a woman who attempted to vote was actually arrested and prosecuted in the United States of America. There was a time in the United States of America where it was a crime for a black person or a person of color to be in class with a person who is white. It took people like Martin Luther King Jr. who said, I have a dream. I have a dream that someday the white and the black will sit at the same table. I have a dream that someday I would not be judged by the color of my skin, but by the content of my character. He had a dream. He stood for that dream. He fought for that dream. And today, civil rights is something that is respected all over America. So trust me, as a human rights practitioner and a lawyer, you must have a dream. A dream that sees beyond the individual benefit. A dream that seeks to protect the generality of society. A dream that seeks to make the society, better for everyone. A dream that seeks to promote inclusiveness. A dream that seeks to promote equality and equity in our society. Equality and equity in the sharing of the national cake. A dream that seeks to promote intergenerational equity, such that those of us who are using the resources available to us will use them in manners that will protect the interests of the future generation. That must be your dream as a human rights practitioner. And remember that he who never walks unless where he sees the footprint of others will never make a discovery. When you are a human rights activist and a practitioner, you are in to make a difference. You must see beyond what others are seeing, and you must go beyond what others are doing. You must be willing to die for the values and the ideals that you believe in as a human rights practitioner. If you are able to do that, you will become a change agent. I am looking forward to you becoming a change agent. I'm looking forward to be the next human rights activist that will change the story of this world. I believe that you have what it takes to change the story of this world. You can be that change, just as Mahatma Gandhi once said, that be the change you want to see in society. I challenge you today, come out and be the change that the society is yearning for. Thank you very much and congratulations, and God richly bless you all.
Hello everyone, my name is Ama Borti, President of the Alumni Network. I want to first congratulate all of you for an amazing job done in completing this human rights course. As a network, we are very excited to welcome all of you into the family. With your new skills acquired in human rights and the knowledge that you have learned throughout the course, we know and anticipate that you're going to only enhance our network. This year, we plan on taking on projects, social projects, and we know that human rights is essential for the quality of life of people. And so we know that you coming into our network, you're going to only enhance the work that we are doing and to guide us in the right direction. And so again, we want to welcome all of you into this network, and we're very excited to know you more deeply. After all, human rights is our basic rights as humans. So welcome all of you, and again, we can't wait to know you better.
I am so excited and so proud of our students, 92 students from 40 countries and 4 continents who successfully undergone the International Human Rights Leadership Education. This program was facilitated by the European Office of Jagils with financial support from the Department of Victims and Human Rights from the Basque County in Spain. We are so grateful to our sponsors. But the reason why I'm excited is because these 92 students that were selected among 4,000 applicants went through 4 weeks of intensive learning. They spent most of the time discussing fundamental human rights cases. They looked at the United Nations as a model. They looked at international human rights laws, and also looked at some mechanisms and instruments of the international law. And today I am so excited that out of all the efforts, today is the day that we need to celebrate them for hard work. And so on behalf of the Board of Trustees of the Jacobs Abbey Global Institute for Leadership Studies, and also on behalf of our staff and faculties, I formally want to graduate this wonderful class of 2022 of the International Human Rights Leadership Education Cohort Program.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the newest graduates and champions, the the International Human Rights Education class of 2022. We say congratulations to you all and welcome to the Inspires Alumni Network of the Jacobs Abbey Institute for Global Studies. And like Dr. Martin Luther King said, if you cannot fly, then run. If you cannot run, then walk. If you cannot walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, keep moving forward. Congratulations to you all once again, and may God bless you. Thank you.